Welcome to Math 20 video lecture series. In this video, we are going to derive the point function values of pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 6. So let us recall the definition of the point function. So suppose this is our unit circle, and let's say we have this arc that starts from 1, 0 and ends here. We know that if the length of this arc is theta units, then this point is what we call P of theta. And the coordinates of P of theta are cosine theta, sine theta. In our previous videos, we derive P of 0, P of pi over 2, P of pi, and P of 3 pi over 2. So in this video, the question now is, what is P of pi over 4, P of pi over 3, and P of pi over 6. So let us start with P of pi over 4. So let us draw our unit circle again. Erase na lang natin. Ay. Ayan. And let's say this is our unit circle. Okay, so this is for P of pi over 4. So, sabi natin, kapag pi, it represents this semicircle divided by 4. So, somewhere ito lang yun. Okay? Somewhere andito si P of pi over 4. Okay, let us zoom in. So, ang gagawin natin is, gagawa tayo ng perpendicular drop from pi over 4. And we connect P of pi over 4 to the origin. So, meron na tayong right triangle. So, alam natin that the hypotenuse of this right triangle is 1 because this is the unit circle. 1 yung radius niya. So, ang question, ano kaya itong angle na ito? Okay, so sabi natin, this is pi, and you divided by 4. So, parang yung kalahati ng circle, hinati mo sa 4. Half ng circle is how many degrees? That is 100, 180 degrees. And if you divide 180 degrees by 4, you get, that is 45 degrees. So, the measure of this angle is 45 degrees. So, since we are in a triangle, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. This is 90, this is 45. So, this must be 45 degrees also. Okay, so, yung two angles natin are congruent. So, the opposite sides must be congruent also. So, drawing ko lang ulit sa labas yung right triangle natin. Okay, so this is 1. So, sabi natin, these two are congruent na itago natin sa pangalang A na lang. So, by the Pythagorean Theorem, A square plus A square equal to 1 square. So, leg square plus leg square equal to hypotenuse square. This will give us 2A square equal to 1. A square equal to 1 half. So, since length yung pinag-uusapan, positive lang pag kumuha tayo ng square root. And this is the same as, multiply by 2 over 2. A is square root of 2 over square root of 4, which is 2. So, this has length, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so from here, makukuha na natin si P of pi over 4. This means the x-coordinate of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2, and its y-coordinate is square root of 2 over 2. Okay? So, you can actually find the others. 3 pi over, p of 3 pi over 4, p of 5 pi over 4, and p of 7 pi over 4. You can actually do the same. So, for example, nasaan ba yung p of 3 pi over 4 na yan? So, it is somewhere here, 3/4 nung pi. So, pwede rin kayong gumawa ng triangle ulit. And same triangle lang yung ma-form nyo na ginawa natin dito. So, congruent lang sila. So, yung coordinates nito, kahawig lang nito sa coordinates nito. Maliban lang for some change in signs. So, since we are in quadrant 2, this is p of 3 pi over 4. So, x is negative, y is positive. Okay. How about p of 5 pi over 4? Somewhere here, andito siya. So, this is p of 5 pi over 4. Ayan siya. Okay. So, same coordinates maliban doon sa signs, iibahin lang natin. Kailangan, nagtutugma siya kung nasang quadrant siya. So, in this quadrant, x and y are negative. And for the last one, this is p of 7 pi over 4. Nasa quadrant of 4 siya. So, x is positive, y is negative. Okay, so there we have this point function value. So, special ito. So, kailangan tandaan natin ito. Okay, so, let's say, example, gamitin natin siya. What is cosine 7 pi over 4? So, sabi natin, cosine 7 pi over 4 is the x-coordinate of p of 7 pi over 4. So, meaning, cosine 7 pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. Okay, another example. What is sine 3 pi over 4? So, sabi natin that sine 3 pi over 4 is the y-coordinate of p of 3 pi over 4, which is square root of 2 over 2. Okay? So, next, we will derive p of pi over 3. So, same technique lang. Although, meron tayong hihiramin na concept from geometry. So, we have our unit circle again. Wow. Ulit. Yan. Okay? So, p of pi over 3, of course, it's a point. You just don't know what the coordinates. So, anong lalabas dito? So, yung pi hatiin sa 3. So, somewhere andito si p of pi over 3. Okay. Yan siya pag minap natin. So, let's say this is p of pi over 3. So, perpendicular drop ulit. And then, connect to the origin. So, we have a right triangle. So, drawing natin sa labas. Ay, hindi straight. Ayan. So, pi over 3, yung semicircle, hinati mo sa 3. So, parang ito, magka-correspond dun sa, yung semicircle, hatiin mo sa 3. So this angle will be 180 divided by 3 or 60 degrees. So ang effect, this angle will have measure 30 degrees. And this is yung hypotenuse, this hypotenuse, ito siya, nasa unit circle tayo, so it must be 1. So ang tanong, paano natin i-compute yung side na ito? Okay. So sabi natin sa geometry class, yung side na katapat ni 30 degrees, which is this one, is half the hypotenuse. So ang hypotenuse natin is 1. So meaning, this side has length, half of the hypotenuse, 1/2. So itong something na lang na ito yung nawawala, na itago natin sa pangalang A. Okay? So using the Pythagorean Theorem again, leg square equal to hypotenuse square. So let us simplify. 1/4 equal to 1. So a square equal to 1 minus 1/4, which is 3/4. Get the square root of both sides. So you get square root of 3 over the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay? So going back, so this A has measure square root of 3 over 2. So balikan natin drawing natin. So the length of this is 1/2. This is square root of 3 over 2. So meaning P of, urayin na natin to. So meaning P of pi over 3 has coordinates 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Okay, kunin naman natin yung iba pa. So P of, we have 2 pi over 3, P of 4 pi over 3, and P of 5 pi over 3. So parang argument dito, katulad lang ng ginawa natin sa pi over 4. So itong mga naka-over 3, yung mga 3 denominators, matik, ito na yung coordinates nila. Magbabago na lang yung signs. Depending kung nasang quadrant sila. So for example, 2 pi over 3, so 2/3 ng pi. So andito yon, 2 pi over 3. Kasi ang pi, kalahati. So 2/3 nun is this one. So x is negative, y is positive. And for 4 pi over 3, andito siya, banda dito. Okay, so siya ay nasa quadrant 3. So negative si x, negative si y. And for 5 pi over 3, ayan siya, nasa quadrant 4 siya. So x is positive, y is negative. Okay, so remember these special values kasi lagi natin silang gagamitin. Okay? And last, for P of pi over 6, na ibibigay ko na lang kasi parehang-pareha lang din yung way ng pagsosolve. Gaya ng sa P of pi over 3 tsaka P of pi over 4. So, P of pi over 6, ang coordinates niya ay pi over 6 ay, we have square root of 3 over 2 comma 1/2. So, this is in quadrant 1. P of pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, this is in quadrant 2. So, x must be negative. P of 7 pi over 6, this is in quadrant 3. So, x is negative, y is negative. P of 11 pi over 6 is positive si x, negative si y. So, those are the point function values of pi over 4, pi over 3, and pi over 6. So, now, gamitin naman natin sila sa mga examples. Okay, so it will be best pag nag-answer kayo ng example to have a summary of the point function values ng mga special points sa unit circle. So, ito yon, yan siya. Okay? Yan yung summary niya. So, for example, you want to find P of 2 pi over 3. You have this. P of 5 pi over 4. Ito siya. Okay? So, let us do some examples. Mga important examples. So, let's say we want to find P of 23 pi over 4. Okay, so wala ito sa unit circle. So, gagamitin natin yung property na diniscuss natin sa previous videos. So, ito yon. So, recall. Okay. Hindi nababago yung P of theta kapag nag-add ka ng kahit ilang 2 pi or mag-subtract ka ng kahit ilang 2 pi dun sa theta. So, meron tayong equation na ito, where k mo is any integer. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa theta mo, pwede kang maghugot ng even multiples ni pi para lumiit yung number or lumaki yung number. Hindi mababago yung point function values niya. Okay? So, for example, this one, 23 pi over 4. So, ang gagawin ko, di-divide ko muna si 23 over 4. Ilan ito? So, this is 5, 23, remainder 5. So, you can write this one as 5, oops, it's not remainder 5, it's remainder 3. Okay? So, this is 5 pi plus remainder 3 is divided by 4. Okay? So, we can get rid of this. Okay, so ang sabi ng property na to, pwede mo lang hugutin even multiples ni pi. So, dito sa 5 pi, ang aalisin lang natin si 4 pi. So, magbawas tayo ng 4 pi, matitira is pi plus 3 pi over 4. Tapos ito, pagsamahin nyo na ulit. So, anong lalabas dito? 5. So, we get 7 pi over 4. So, ang sinasabi nito, P of 23 pi over 4 is equal to P of 7 pi over 4. At meron tayo nun, diba? P of 7 pi over 4, nasaan iyon? 7 pi over 4. Ito siya. Okay? So, that is square root of 2 over 2, comma, negative square root of 2 over 2. Okay? So, that is the answer for that problem. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay. So, yung medyo mahirap-hirap naman na onte. P of negative 197 pi over 6. Okay, so, ganun ulit. Di-divide lang natin si 197 by 6. Ilan ba yun? 318, 117, 2, 12, 5. So, remainder 5. So, we can write this one as P of, okay, negative ito so we get negative 32 pi minus 5 pi over 6. Okay, so ang sabi ulit ng property na ito, very important ito, pwede kang magtanggal or magdagdag ng multiples ni 2 pi. So, or even multiples ni pi. So, itong negative 32 pi, pwede na natin alisin yan kasi even multiple ni pi. Okay? So, ang matitira is P of negative 5 pi over 6. Okay, sasabihin nyo, ay wala naman tayong negative doon sa unit circle na reference natin. Itong ginagamit natin na ito. So, what you can do is, para maging positive siya, you can add 2 pi doon sa theta. Kasi hindi naman nagmamatter kung mag-add or subtract ka ng kahit ilang 2 pi na gusto mo. So, pwedeng ganyan. 2 pi minus 5 pi over 6. So, what do we get? 12 pi minus 5 pi over 6. That is p of 7 pi over 6. So, meaning, ito, pareha lang daw siya sa 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6, meron tayo nun sa, dito sa kodigo natin. So, 7 pi over 6, ito siya. So, ano iyon? Negative square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2. Okay? And one last example. How about this? P of 102 pi over 6. So, actually, ang una kong tinitignan kapag nagsasolve ng P, yung point function values ng something, tinitignan ko kung naka-lowest term ba siya. So, in this case, hindi siya naka-lowest term. So, the numerator and the denominator are divisible by, this is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. So, divisible to by 6. So, ibig sabihin, masisimplify pa natin itong part na ito. This part. So, what is 102 over 6? So, this 102 over 6 is 17. So, this is the same as 17 pi. And masyado siyang malaki. So, pwede natin gawin, magtanggal tayo ng even multiple ni pi. Okay? Or, multiples ni 2 pi. Pareha lang yun. So, alis tayo ng 16 pi. Pag nagbawas tayo ng 16 pi, meron na tayong p of pi na lang. And p of pi is this one. Negative 1, negative 1, 0. Okay. So, ang summary lang natin dito, kung wala sa unit circle, yung hinahanapan nyo ng point function values, at least in this, in this unit circle, ito yung mga special values. Kung wala dyan, pwede siyang i-reduce ng i-reduce, mag-subtract or mag-add ng 2 pi para makita nyo siya sa isa sa mga ito. And that ends our video lecture for today. Bye! See you in our next episode. Kire? Kire lang.